Well, my suspicions were correct, as usual. The Dark Lord had sent one of his minions, that little squirrely fellow Marvin, or whatever his name is, to capture the fairy princess. Fortunately, I arrived just in time to save her from certain doom.
Oh, do tell, darling.
I came upon the fiend just as he was preparing to ensnare the princess. I revealed him for the traitor he was.
Was?
Oh, yes! We dueled. It was quite an epic battle. He put up a good fight, I do not deny. But in the end, he was no match for the White Wizard. I sent him howling back into the abysmal nethers from whence he came slithering into the world.
Oh, Murdy, I just love it when you talk all fairy tales.
Yes, yet another fiendish minion of darkness has been defeated. Today has been a grand day for the forces of goodness.
I like to orgasm.
Yes. Well, thanks for sharing.
Hey, old smart dude. Do you mind if I ask you something?
Yes?
It's just that I can't help but notice that you seem to be rather violently against the forces of darkness. Now, don't get me wrong. I hate all those weaselly, snivelous, ungroomed cats just as much as anyone. I was raised to be awesome, after all. But you seem to actually take the fight against evil personally. Why is that?
Ah, shucks, I lost. Well, I gotta skedaddle. I have a date with the Harpy of Hornberry. Toodles!
Oh, well, since you asked, allow me to tell you my long and sadly tragic story.
Oh, crap, here we go.
When I was a toddler wizard, only 35 years old, my mom left my dad and me. It really was quite sad. She left us for the king of lizards, who promised her gold. Never again did she, I see. It broke my poor old dad. For wit, my father was not known. She often called him Ignoramus, and that's the reason I believe my mother ran off with the dragon lord Whodemis.
Wow, that's a very sad story. I'm sorry to hear that.
He's not done yet, dearie.
Far from it, in fact. In my childhood days, when I was barely 100, I befriended the best of chums, another boy wizard named Calotrician. It started off as innocent child plays, but grew into raising the undead. In retrospect, his collection of animal gums should have raised my suspicion. But I was just a gullible lad, so I played his twisted games. And that, I'm sad to say, is how the young evil dead King Calatrician had me framed, and my mother ran off with the dragon lord Whodemis.
Well, I should really...
Wait! I've only just begun! As I grew into puberty around 814, I fell in love with a pretty witch, plus Ferelda was her name. She wasn't afraid to be flirty, I really should have foreseen. She ensnared me, then showed her gritty bitch, my heart she did name. She dumped me like a rabid mole, that sly, conniving blotter. And that, my friends, is the story of how I was dumped by the wicked witch of the westerly waters, and the young evil dead King Calatrician had me framed, and my mother ran off with the dragon lord Whodemis.
My, look at the time. It sure does fly when you're having fun.
Fun doesn't begin to describe the rest of this story. When I turned 1,000, I went to university. The Pigsit School of Magic, the best in all the verses. I studied under the great Housand. He specialized in astroversity. He claimed he spent his free time pelagic, but in truth he immersed in dark curses. My mentor's fall was heart-wrenching. I had to bring him down myself. And that, dear Cap, is a story of how I had to kill my mentor because he became a dark elf, and I was jumped by the wicked witch of the westerly waters, and the young evil dead King Calatrician had me framed, and my mother ran off with a dragon lord Whodemis.
Oh, well, it's getting late, so I should really...
It's not nearly as late as it will be when I'm done.
That's for sure.
I came here unto Musalasia in my second millennium. When I arrived, this land had no music. It made me quite sad. I set to cure this musical aphasia and free this land so glum. I poured through every tome of magic, every encyclopedia I had. When at last I found a spell that worked, I was a little overzealous. And that, good peeps, is a story of how I made Musalasia so gosh darn musicalis, and I had to kill my mentor because he became a dark elf, and I was dumped by the wicked witch of the westerly waters, and the young evil dead King Calatrician had me framed, and my mother ran off with a dragon lord Whodemis. As you can see, my sad long life has been torn asunder by the dark arts. And I've received more ashes than I'd care to admit on my private parts. So it's little wonder I fight so vigilantly against those with dark hearts. Those who tread in darkness will show us no mercy. Show the same, and our followers shall show us gramercy when we ensure that no one else shall ever have to kill their mentor when he becomes a dark elf, or be dumped by the wicked witch of the westerly waters, or get framed by the young evil dead King Calatrician, or have their mother run off with the dragon lord Whodemis. Oh, so that's what it feels like.
Lorcamat, I want that fairy's heart! Ah, Lurvel, you return! Lord Durkistan, you appear to have returned alone.
Yes, my Lord Saurnimort.
It's Saurnimort! Do you recall the mission I sent you on, Larlaban?
Yes, my lord.
And what was that mission, Laruth Mahalg?
It was to find the fairy and bring her to you.
What was that?
It was to find the fairy and bring her to you.
Ah, yes. Then why, Kirstel, have you returned without the fairy? The fairy with the burgundy begonia birthmark!
It was Merdalfdore, my lord.
What?
It was Merdalfdore, my lord. I was about to get away with the fairy, my lord, but he came and he attacked me, my lord.
Attacked you, eh? More likely he fell asleep and you scampered away like a little coward. Merdalfdore! I should have known better than to entrust this most important of missions unto anyone other than myself. That wretched wizard has foiled me for the last time. I shall tarry with him no more. Minions, we march to war! I never thought minions essential. What can you expect from filthy little heathens? But to see them march is to take a sudden chill. My minions murdering beauty and passions. You know I'm not a righteous man. And these are my friends from the other side. There is no meaner master than I am. Now don't close your eyes, don't try to hide. Through the mist, cross the moor, through the darkness and the horror. They're off to kidnap old murder snore.
We will follow Saurnimort, more we will sound the drums of war.
So march on, you miserable minions. I put a spell on you. But trust me, pets, your master knows what's best. And I got a bill of sale here that says you belong to me. Yes, march on, my miserable minions. Trust in me, just in me. Go and set the bait in my nasty trap and wait, and all spooks will come out for a swing and wake.
There's no man in town as ready as you.
On your own, you know you will not survive. So don't stop to figure out a plan. I have cursed your wretched little lives. Now be prepared for the murkiest scam. Lead them to the wizard and fight him up. But secretly I've planned another shady deal. While you lead them to the wizard and grind him up, I'll find the fairy and make her squeal. Raise the flag, sing the song.
Here we come 100 strong.
Bring me the wizard!
All this banging, dragging, dragging through the town. Yeah! We will follow Saurnimort, more we will sound the drums of war.
Go march on, my miserable minions, you savages. Be prepared! I'm the world's greatest criminal mind, and all unfortunate souls will be mine, mine, mine. And I'll set the plains ablaze with hellfire. My minions are marching 10 by 10.
Huzzah, huzzah,
My minions are marching 10 by 10.
huzzah, huzzah.
The minions do not march, they
And
dance!
when we dance, we stomp on the ants. We're marching, marching, marching on the ground.
Marching on the ground.
The fight against darkness and evil is never ending.
More evil than even you.
Come to music.
For evil is clever and ever unrelenting.
Kills like Saurnimort, no one names like
It's
Saurnimort.
I wanna
Saurnimort!
be where the gremlins
You're
are.
my number 2.
I wanna join their
Like Bigly was
torture. Oh, weirdness we call on
I'm
you.
Captain Awesome and I'm here to save the day.
Send to us the chosen
I've also been known to
one.
draw some, and no, I'm not at all gay.
Everyone's a little bit
bisexual.
Birth of the child.
Captain, everyone's a little bit gay.
The babe with the power approaches.
My mother ran off
Don't you
with
dare start that again.
I'm Captain Awesome and
the fight against darkness and evil.
I wanna be
For evil is clever and ever unrelenting.
My earlier crimes were fine for their times, but when we're done, they will build me some shrines. So march forth, my miserable minions.